Yeah, playing Sentinel. Oh yeah, Sentinel. Oh yeah. Waiting for the new patch. Oh yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah. I want more damage, dude. I always want more damage. Chat, how you doing? You want damage too? Alright. So good. We should like fight some monsters, eh? Follow the Empire. Let's go here. Alright, so da, 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 da. Let's look up. Let's type some stuff in real quick. Let's see. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Bum 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 bum. Alright, we jump in there. Oh, we logged off because we died through a box. I did. I did log off because I was dying to a box. That's true. That does sound like me.
Stand down or die.
Oh yeah. That does sound like me. Oop. Do I need Basilika? This is a good question. I remember there's one person I know who's played this build recently. Who has played this build since the introduction of the Scepter. So I pulled up their build planner. This is Curse Boy. I remember he had a really good time with it. So I'm looking at his build planner right now. And like, I feel like I need more damage. I like, you know, our clear speed, our farming, like it's good, it's fun, it's fine, but like, yeah, man, those Harbingers kind of a pain in the butt. Like, what did he do? Let me see, how did he spec his hammer throw? Completely normal, nothing strange? Got it. True, true. Might need these someday. Completely normal, nothing strange. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Boop. He used sigils instead of Abyss Echoes. I guess mixes mana a lot better, doesn't it? I guess? But like on single target, like single target's where I'm struggling. And like, what are you doing with sigils on single target? I don't know. I don't think he has a ring for it, does he? He does not. Got it. Interesting. Interesting. And then let's look at his jewelry real quick. He has damage affixes on his amulet. Bold strategy, dude. Bold strategy. And his rings are T7 minus mana cost and throwing attack speed. T7 minus mana cost, throwing attack speed. And then everything else is straightforward and boring. I'm surprised he didn't put spell damage on his non-spell build. That's interesting to me. How come his gear has text and the vast majority of mine does not? I'm starting to figure it out, Chad. Starting to. Alright. Do you see the game you linked to me? Nope. What did you link to me? Did I miss something? I still have nothing put in there, do I? Hard once to see what happens.
Corrode! Hatred never ends!
New action RPG. Yo, dude. How much vitality do I have? Like all my flat spell damage comes from vitality. We got some damage. For Basilicos. I do certainly feel like... I guess we have spell damage in this thing too, don't we? I do feel like my single target's the weak point, and Basilicos does a lot more for single target. Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised to see that he did sigils instead. Maybe he had like two different setups. For like clear speed, because like for clear speed, sigils is a lot better, right? Mm. Ah, so good. Oh, let's check his idols. What idols did he end up using? He did bunch of stuff. Okay, so he's going for the same thing that I was going for, which tells me that I'm on the right track. Like double damage, inspiration, then double damage. He's even using this body armor. His base type, rather. Got it. Give it a shot. Well, the stream has just started, and I've already finished my coffee. So, I'm already set. I want more coffee. Yeah, right? Oh, I should check how he did his mastery, I guess. I can't imagine there's gonna be much variation. Can do. Let's find a shield throw. No. Maybe we're all gonna be playing shield throw next patch. Maybe shield throw is like the real OP. Whereas endgame build planner doesn't use sigils anymore, it uses healing hands. For traversal, I suppose, yeah. It's wild, just because it has an iframe in it. Iframes be crazy, dude. Yeah, very, very little variation. Everything completely normal. There's not much creativity when it comes to speccing your mastery as a Void Knight. There's like the good nodes and then, you know, everything else.
He won't make it far. I'm eternally
Razor fall with movement speed? Gamers. Vanish.
The hunt. Feast.
That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
It's not why I'm here, dude.
bring them.
Yeah, Basilicos even has the nether coating buff. There's no way that Sigils is better than that. Come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Imagine not playing Euro class. Big mood. Big mood. What's the main reason to spec Abyss Echoes? It's pretty. Oh, it turns slow into haste. Oh my god, I forgot. What a misplay, dude. Am I really gonna take this more damage over here? No, I'm not. Alright. I'm just gonna unspec and respec nodes to feel alive. It'll be enjoyable. Oh my god, look, we're leveling up, Chet. Can I gain time rot? It's a good question.
Stand down or die.
This is... Increase my attacks, melee attacks? Melee attacks. Time out duration, spread on kill, melee time out chance. I'd have to get an item somehow, or like on an idol. Oh, Abyss Echoes can, you're right. Chance to time out on hit down there. I can see it.
Stand down or die. Yeah.
Yeah. Good observation. It's a good thing that we're doing this exploration right before the R gets deleted from the game. And of course, this entire nether coding stuff is based on a bug. So, you know. Get a +4 hammer throw, huh? Chad, happy Sunday. What are you doing? How much coffee are you drinking? What's on the agenda for today?
Crimson waves! Leave! Ha! Leave! Not
Stand
finished
down
with
or
you!
die.
Coffee's gross. You're gross, homie.
Yeah.
Get him. Can't believe you'd say that.
Stand down or die.
Lich leveling? I like it, I like it. 3 cups of coffee and going back to sleep soon? Yes. Not only needing coffee to wake up, but also needing coffee to go to sleep. Fully dependent on it. Push through javelin? Yuck. We could also go like this, right? More void damage per stack of time rot. What's this shield say? Time to time, or chance to time rot on hits. Time rot on hit. Oh my god, it's so good. Is time rot gonna be good next patch? Do I get to use one-handed sword plus shield next patch and feel good about it? I hope so, that'd be fun. Just get the set shards? Yeah, for real.
Stand
There we
down or die.
Is Sentinel Fire Aura the judgment thing? Is it viable? Yes, it's viable. Definitely. It's not gonna one-shot Aberoth or anything, obviously, but yeah, it's definitely viable.
Stand down or die. Yeah.
Quick. Hand of Judgment. Just like we drew it up. Pelican unblock stuff, yeah, it's fine. It's fine, but not nearly good enough. Oh well. Yeah, keep in mind that we have a big patch coming up on April 2nd. And April 2nd will have lots of new stuff, specifically including... Not that. Specifically including a Sentinel rework. So if Sentinel's your jam, hopefully you're in for a good time. Do you have a build guide for this? No, I just started referencing a build from Cursed Boy that he put together previously. So I remember that he was previously having fun with this. 3LP Alchemist label. But would you like playing Void Dot Hammers? Honestly, to me, what this build feels like is, like, take the Disintegrating Aura node, and then take every single thing that you can find that reduces the amount of cost. There's not much spice going on in our build right now. It's basically just get as much minus amount of cost as possible. Every time you try to play Void Knight, you feel like, why any other build? When Auto Bomber works by just walking around and holding keys? I don't think the Auto Bomber build is particularly good. I guess that's why. And by Auto Bomber, like Devouring Orb, I don't think Devouring Orb is one of the best things you can be doing right now. As a Sentinel. It's fine. But what about next patch? Maybe next patch it's OP. Bloop. They showcased like 1 second of Devouring Orb gameplay in that hype video from a week ago. So, like, it's gonna be changed in some capacity, right? Yeah, I'm a huge appreciator of Devouring Orb. And like, it's fun. It is like the first skill that I fell in love with. That and Hammer Throw. Just like good times for a new player. There we go. Mana Strike? Yeah! Mana Strike, the lightning procs. God, it's so enjoyable. Okay, so avoid penetration, maybe. Spell, chill, and hit shock. So I'll keep this in case we get like an LP or something. And then... Can we do the boss? Looks like we can. I've got 1-in-1 shred movement speed. Okay, so this boss is annoying. Let's go ahead and do this first and clear off the modifiers. Mana Strike. Mana Strike was the perfect time to learn that 1000 ward. Not really that much ward. Believe it or not. But boy, could it generate 1000 ward. Oh, it sure could. What's the build to start new season farming the real build? Oh, that reminds me. Good. Okay, I can do that later. Doo-doo-doo-doo. What's the best for the new build, or for the new season? A patch note build. If you wait for the patch notes, you can always control F OP, and then the first thing that shows up, that's your league starter.
Stand down or die.
You have to control F and then like slowly start typing in your name. And then as soon as the search results only show up like one thing, that's your build. So if your name's like John, you type in like J-O, and then as soon as there's only one thing showing, that's your build.
Yeah.
Triple Glacier. You better hope that your given name is Glary then. It'll show up. Can you imagine? Glary! Get down here! I will remember you.
Accepted. The void is all that is left.
Will you remember me?
Let the
Break
void take
yourself
you.
upon my body. Oh, I can kill these things, can't I? Hold on.
Gibbous calls. Can't you hear it?
It'd be so much less annoying if I could just kill them. I will.
Drown in darkness.
Their name would be Glorance. Sorry, is Gary short for Garance? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I didn't think Gary was short for anything.
Yeah. Accepted. The void is all that is left.
Oh. No, you're right.
The void
Alright,
take
valid, valid. Dude, you know Garance. No Garance, is he? Fucking Harden's dying too quick. Whatever.
Am I free?
He finally found peace.
Garrett's real name, debatable.
Dodge this!
I've never met one.
Dodge this! Submit! I show no mercy! Coward! Coward! Submit!
His name was Garrett. Come here. Stop trying to fight me and fight me.
Coward!
Oh fuck. Oops.
Submit!
Boom, 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 boom.
Dodge this! Coward!
She's just so annoying.
Mercy! Submit!
I'm just gonna go over here, dude.
Dodge this! Coward!
Boom, 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 boom.
I show no mercy! this.
I just gotta like remind myself that this is not a real boss fight. It's just like annoying. Bum, 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 bum.
I show no mercy. Oh, Aberoth. Oh, lie.
12%, 85, that's fine. Prefixes. You like melee Cinder Strike? I like Cinder Strike a lot. I just wish it did damage. Killing Jordan is enjoyable in the clearing. Yeah, it's just like. Hold on, let me see if anything changed here.
Delighted.
Okay, was there a funeral for Pen? Verily, we held a funeral fit for a soul as bright as his. We said our words, shared our memories. One of them even cited poetry. An artistry I will forever covet. My dear friend never felt it fit to call himself a knight. Thus I knighted him myself, as little as that may mean with the tarnish that stains me. He will forever be remembered as Sir Pen. Is that a pun? Is that a pun? Sir Pen? Sir Pen? Sir Pen. Sir Pen, the man who saved us all. I continue to fight for the women who saved him. Oh, for the woman who saved him. F. Pen would have left. Wouldn't leave him either. She needs us. Aye. He even wrote a poem for him, read and everything. Can I hear it? Nope. What are the Forgotten Squires doing? Finding travelers in despair, getting them out just like Penn did. Returning the monolith here is still too crowded.
I told you to leave the harbingers to me.
Thank you for
Squires
listening.
wouldn't listen to me either. We held a funeral for the squire who died helping me.
His name was Sir
His name was
Penn.
Penn.
His name was Sir
I
Penn.
don't think I mind them being here anymore. But that's just between you and I. You could tell I wasn't sharing everything, eh? I had a brother. Our mother named him Ataros.
Chad, who's
hoping that
Ataros?
Terra would smile on her sickly son. She died not long after. From then on, it was just the two of us. We traveled, adventured, and fought back the void. Always together. Until he died. I couldn't lose
Dead.
him.
Oops.
Iterra wouldn't answer my prayers, so I called out to Oribis. He answered.
So it is Erebus, not Erebus. Oops. I called out to Erebus.
My brother returned as the first harbinger, and in that moment,
Oh shit.
I knew I had made a mistake.
Oops.
All the kindness and warmth. He discarded his name and became Aberoth, Herald of Oblivion. I had promised to always watch over him,
Oh.
so I joined him.
Oops. I should have read this a long time ago.
Countless sins later, and here I am, a forgotten knight, trying to put her brother's soul to rest.
Oops.
Please, let me keep some secrets.
What's your name, girl?
Yes. Every death at the hands of the Harbingers is my responsibility. Thank you. Not just for helping fight the Harbingers. Thank you for listening to me.
You know what game had a fucking bomb storyline? Chrono Arc. Holy shit, what a video game. You thought I knew that? I didn't know this. No one ever asked me about the lore of the endgame. Everyone asked about the lore of the campaigns. So that's the only thing that I care about. Oops.
They wish to learn.
Next patch, really? Oh, you mean with the woven stuff? Sure, I suppose so. I hope these weapons find a place. Cause like they're really fucking cool. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, so her sickly brother died. So she prayed to Iterra. Iterra didn't answer. So she prayed to Erebus instead. So if she prayed to Erebus, then she must have prayed after Apophis let the void into the world, right? Because the void wasn't in the world until Apophis brought the void into the world. Right? You muted the music? There's one audio track in Last Epoch that fucking slaps. You want to hear it?
You understand nothing, traveler. The end comes. This means nothing. The end.
The end of time? No, it's this one. Hold on. It's easy. Easy the best one. Hold on. Yeah, as long as we're having this topic of conversation, I'm just gonna like let it ride, alright? Give me 60 seconds. It's a banger, it is a banger. Swamp? Let me check if I have it. Hold on. We're on Troll Mud Swamp. Hold on. Oh. I have something called Troll Mud. You like this one? I have no idea what it is. Let's see. Oh, that is good. I've never listened to this before. Good shout out. funky beat going on too. I'm gonna fast forward, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reference that the next time that we talk about like banger music in Last Epoch. Like there is really good music, they just don't use it for some reason. I don't know.
Die.
They're like afraid that it's gonna distract you from the gameplay.
Frozen steel! And alright! Next time, you will perish!
There we go. Yeah, it's good. I like it. Bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum. Putrefy, rot, spoil, fester. That's not what that voice sounds like. It doesn't sound like. It's like. Isn't it? It's like a really deep voice, isn't it?
Watch you!
I can't do deep voices very well. Deep and grumpy. Hold on. Let me turn off the camera and try. It's like. I can't do it when I'm giggling. Beautiful. What's up? What's like a nice low voice? I'm just gonna putrefy. Putrefy. Rot. I can do like a growly voice. I don't think I can do it. Putrefy, rot, spoil, and fester. What's this?
Putrefy.
Yeah, I can't do that though. That's such a good voice.
Rot, spoil, and fester.
Holy fuck, what a voice line.
Putrefy, rot, spoil.
Jesus Christ, listen to that.
Putrefy, rot, spoil, and fester.
Fuck, what a good voice. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I can't do that. Let's go here. You want the Atlas? Take it. It's yours. But Ordeath, I will burn to the ground. Maybe the suffering of my fellow citizens will finally stir something. I can do that one because it's cartoonish and nasally. I got 2 LP.
Frozen steel!
That's a good looking belt right there. That's a pretty good Cyrus. Thank you. I've been making fun of it for years. It's great. Putrified, rot, spoiled, fester. It's so creaky. It's so deep. No chance.
Stand down or die.
Bow, bow. Nope. So I guess this is +1 to hammer throw. Energy. I don't need the fire res, do I? Maybe I can make this thing work. So I did this. It has necrotic on it, which is useless. Okay, so it only has one good line of text. I think it's 25 mana regeneration, which like doesn't really do anything, right? 12 to 14, so I guess it kind of does. Be nice to have frailty. Good. Okay. And then can I seal? I'm gonna guaranteed seal here and craft like endurance, for example. Working with like a non-exalted item is like kind of strange, but I'm still going to. So now we have like a point here. Back to sleep? What the fuck? Back to sleep. Hit damage. I think it's just this thing, right? Actually, minus prod speed is like kind of good. I don't think that does anything for us though. Let's set a relic which gives throwing attacks and axe throwing modifier. Nah. The Sentinel Weaver relic would be good. Anything with plus levels. Yeah. What's this? Hammer throw effect, endurance stuff. Get rid of it. I guess we have like some flat. I guess we have quite a bit of flat throwing damage. What's our scaling look like? We have a lot of void damage, like percent increase of void damage. How much damage over time do I have? I think I'm good. Bloop. What's this? What I want to talk on Gazzy's stream. He's meeting with last Epoch content creators for his interview. Collecting questions. Yeah, it'd be fun. There's more hammer throw. Boop. More points here, more points here. I'm gonna go more percent increased damage. Bonk. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. So we got like an hour and a half. That's fine. I'm pleased to announce something to you, chat. This is very important. I'm making another loaf of bread. Normally, not that exciting. We went out yesterday. We bought some more cheese. We bought some more bacon. We're gonna make some more cheddar, cheesy, bacon, sourdough bread. And we're gonna eat the whole thing. It sounds fire. Oh my god, it's amazing, dude. it's out of this world how good it is. Like, however good you think it is, imagine it coming out of the oven and then just like cracking it open and eating it. Oh.
Stand down or die.
What's my opinion on Void, Spin to Win, Devouring Orb, Hammer Throw? All in the same build? atrocious. Really bad. Is that what you meant? Generally not to be recommended. What about individually? Maybe you meant individually. Or is this you go void? Oh, different builds. Okay, got it. Rating them. Okay, sure. So VK spin to win is good. It's a good build. It's like a 8 tier kind of thing. VK spin to win. The only warpath that I would play would be VK melee crit, because these nodes over here are so strong. The strongest way of currently playing it is with Warrior's Fury, because Warrior's Fury also scales the echoes that you leave behind you. However, that's a bug. So the strongest way to play Warpath is bugged. TBD what Warpath is going to look like after the Sentinel rework on April 2nd. So, I mean, all of this is TBD, but I'm going to rate them based on what I know right now. It's good. It's fine. You can kill, you can kill Aberoth with it. I don't think it's the best thing in the game. I don't think it's like S tier, but I think it's like a solid A tier. Pokemon Discord, will do. Gotcha. What's my opinion on Devouring Orb? Devouring Orb is super solid. It's been nerfed a handful of times. Personally, I have a frustration when people call it VK Auto Bomber, because what they mean is like Devouring Orb. So you just call it VK Devouring Orb. I don't know. That frustrates me that people don't just call it Devouring Orb instead. We know that this skill is going to change in some way on April 2nd. It's solid right now. It's not OP. The last time that Devouring Orb had a resurgence is when Healing Hands was introduced to the game during 1.0. And Devouring Orb was like killing like the white monsters, like the trash monsters, but really it was Smite proccing Healing Hands that was carrying that build. So it's good build. Hammer Throw, the most popular way. There's 3 primary ways of playing Hammer Throw. There is Bleed, there's Crit with Enra's technique, and then there's the Disintegrating Aura stuff over here. I think Bleed is super fucking solid. It's like one of the most solid builds in the game. Not OP, super solid. The Disintegrating Aura stuff, I've seen someone take it to endgame, and like it looks solid, looks great. The mana cost, like you need like double tier 7 minus mana cost rings to like make it not feel terrible, which is like a little bit frustrating. But it's good. So like this thing, like when the patch happens, I'm gonna look at this build and see like, you know, how did Volatile Reversal change? Is Food for Worms still here? Is this Mark of Rot still here? Like this build could be a good one, because like mechanically Hammer Throw is just like so good anyways, and this is like a really cool way of playing it with like the void damage over time, scaling off of flat throwing damage stuff. It also has like cool support from, you know, Aberoth's command. The crit one, the crit one's real easy to get up and running, and it scales decently well. There's a couple people who really like it. For like a league start stuff, because of how easy it is to set up, especially because like you don't care about mana because of like Enra's technique stuff over here. That's probably like the 3rd most popular one, but Bleed is definitely the most popular. So of those 3 builds, which one would I rate the highest? I would rate Bleed Hammer Throw the highest, between like Hammer Throw, Spin to Win, and Devouring Orb. I put Warpath 2nd and Devouring Orb 3rd. Broadly.
Stop.
Bloop. Broadly speaking. Oh, whoops. Yeah, hopefully the new Sentinel's sweet. I don't know, man. I like Sentinel. Big Sentinel enjoyer. You can't wait for season 2? Oh my god. Come on, give me the season 2! I want to see the juice. I want to see the good stuff. I want set items not to be a meme. Dude, come on. It's impossible to simultaneously become silent and eat the world's hottest pepper. Those things are mute chili exclusive. Hey, welcome back, dude. What's going on? Wait a minute. Come on, that's pretty good. Looking forward to stuff? I'm looking forward to stuff too. I've been like keeping track of old usernames that are popping up in chat. I say old usernames like it's been 16 years or something, but you know, people from, you know, 9 months ago, a year ago, etc. But yeah. Fun seeing what people have been up to. Dude got nothing. You have. Oops. There we go.
Stand down.
Yeah, try bleed hammer throw if you haven't. If nothing else, by playing bleed hammer throw, you're gonna familiarize yourself with a super solid leveling setup. Bloop. Gloves, gloves, gloves. Nothing that I really want, though. I'm kind of a Warpath hater.
Stand down or die.
I just don't like the playstyle. I get it. It's good. I get it. Some people, you know, live and breathe Warpath. It's just not for me. Is it viable? I don't know. I feel like I've seen some people do that recently. I'm pretty comfortable saying that that's like still a thing. Because like my Discord has remained active with people talking about Last Epoch, even over the past 9 months or so. And I remember someone like really recently talking about their success with like Smite Hammerden, even now. What's the best class to learn the game? Listen. The one that looks cool, so that you will continue playing the game and not just give it up because I selected the class that you don't enjoy. Like, if I asked you that question, and you told me that Acolyte was the best class to learn the game, I might not find anything that I enjoy, and then I'll just like stop playing the game. You know what I mean?
Stand down.
So like, first things first, I would say like rule of cool, you know? Something that looks cool, something that catches your fancy. That said, I'll give you a real answer as well. Sentinel tends to be a very forgiving class for a new player. The mastery for Sentinel has lots of access to various resistances, lots of health, you know, block chance, armor stuff. Like for a new player, I think a Sentinel is a good place to be. But if you hate the look of Sentinel, don't play Sentinel. You know? You're the second person telling me to ping Gazzy. Chat, chill. I'll go ping Gazzy, shit. He's got to be in here somewhere. There you go. Oh, Gazzy's reaching out? Oh, shit. Hey, chat, as long as we're talking about, like, interviews and stuff, does anyone else know a content creator who wants me to ping them on Discord? Gazzy? Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Curse boy, what's going on? You know, I started out today's stream by pulling up your video that you made on this build. I was like, didn't somebody play this? Who was that? Who played this build? Who was that person? Why were you using sigils instead of using Abyssal Echoes procced off of Void Quake? Do I like it? It's like kind of low damage. It's low damage against the Harbingers, and like, I haven't fought the Harbingers in a while. They're so fucking tanky. Good God, they're tanky. Is Warpath doing void damage too? I'm not playing Warpath. But Warpath can be made to do void damage if you want. Like, the Harbingers make you feel like you're building shit. Like, oh, like I'm cruising along, I'm doing well. You know, just killing everything. Like, my time to kill on the bosses is fine. Yeah, it was a shrine. There you go. And then, like, you do a Harbinger's like, oh, I guess I'm a fucking idiot. Because my build's garbage, and I should feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, what? It makes me feel stupid. What the fuck, dude? They're so tanky. Ugh. Yeah, we got our Aberral's command here. It doesn't have text on it. It's got like mana spent getting his ward or something. Why did you? And listen, I didn't watch the video. I did like the real gamer thing where I opened up your YouTube video and I just like clicked on the gear section. But why are you not using Abyssal Echoes for single target and using sigils instead? Oh, I totally did, dude. What's this thing? Dagger stuff. We good? I need more corruption, huh? So I should I guess I could do this and fight the boss and then push. Yeah, I guess so. Sure, let's do it. You hate Abyssal Echoes? So, I don't know. You probably know this, but I'm going to say this for everyone else's benefit as well. Abyssal Echoes is currently bugged, where this Embrace the Darkness node says directly using Abyssal Echoes grants you nether coating, but indirectly using it also grants you nether coating. So by including Abyssal Echoes, you gain 20% attack speed, 20% more damage. Pretty good. We also included the Abyssal Tendrils down here for Time Rot on any hit. Pairing that with Volatile Reversal, 48% more damage here. Oh, okay. You know what? Perfect. That's the only explanation that I needed. Chat, you want to see me get a Ravenous Void on my first try?
My magic has no equal. Perish. Why you run? It is hopeless. Burn, wretches. The void consumes all. Burn, wretches.
Damn!
Is this nightmare?
Unbelievable.
Finally over.
Chat, you want to know the shortcut for clicking this one? You click the one that looks like Carve. Done, that's it. Class specific shard. Body armor, who cares? Suffix, who cares? Offhand catalyst, nope. Doesn't matter, nope. Just click the one that looks like Carve. And if it's not there, just click randomly. Dude, I got a double gas bar set drop. Holy shit. Terrible. Double gas bar set. If you have questions you want to bring up, because it was so far and cleverly. Alright, so he just wants to know, are there questions that we want to ask the devs? Yes. Okay.
Stand down or die.
Notepad. Health versus ward balance. Got it. I can think of another question, but I'm gonna let you brainstorm, Chen. If you were interviewing the devs, if you were interviewing like, you know, Tress, Mike, Judd, what would you be asking about? Why is my build bad? How come that build good? How is it unlocked? Patch notes when? Why preseason instead of $15? How did you decide not to do a battle pass? What was that conversation like? Okay, how is Ubrath unlocked? How about that? How about have we seen the last of Sir Pen? Sir Pen, the first of the Forgotten Squires, who died and had a poem written about him by Marcus. Is that a good question? Well, I never realized. Ouch. I never realized that the Forgotten Knight's brother is Aberoth. No, Cat, why is it 70% of the things that I try are bad? Like, it feels like most things can't beat Aberoth. You know what the answer for that is? And I'm saying this out of respect. You aren't good enough at brainstorming your own builds. But you will be. Because it sounds like you try a lot. And that's a good thing. Like, you're doing things the hard way. If you can't get any of your builds to kill Aberoth, you're doing things the hard way. But like, when it clicks, it's gonna be real satisfying. Cause like, I've seen some really nonsense builds that pump out insane damage. And like, they're nonsense, and they're using mechanics that are kind of weird, and they're kind of jumping through hoops that, you know, other, you know, better builds don't need to jump through. But like, those hoops exist, you just gotta find them. I've seen some real nonsense builds. I could potentially use this thing, right? I don't know, maybe.
Storms rage. Hatred never ends.
I hope he's not talking about my builds. No. Curse boy, you're a tryhard, dude. You play good builds. You're not the sweatiest tryhard that I know, but like you're definitely a tryhard. When I say real nonsense, your builds are pretty far away from nonsense.
Stand down or die.
Spine of Melatros good when? That's a great question. Not for Judd, but it is a great question. Woven Tombs after Aberoth, before killing Aberoth. I assume that the Woven stuff is going to happen like very shortly after you enter the monolith for the first time. Yeah, he pinged me. Oh. I misunderstood. Does Gazzy want to talk right now? Oh, see, I did misunderstand, Chad. He's fucking waiting in Discord? Is he? Hold on. Twitch.tv/Gazzy. Is he currently online? Oh. The fuck? Oh, it's an ad. The time doing the rounds and supporting the last. Sure. Ten, 15 minutes. I got 10, 15 minutes. That's good. I got an ad for Jolly Ranchers or something. Doritos, DoorDash, Fortnite, shoes, everything. The whole fucking 9 yards. I'm getting ads for everything right now. It's great. Love it. Alright, I guess we're gonna talk to Gazzy for a bit. That's neat. Chad, if he starts asking me about minions, I'm just gonna like end the phone call, okay? Ah, shit. Hello? Test, 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 test.
Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
I hear you. You hear me?
Yes. Can you keep talking for a little
All
bit?
right. Shout out to Twitch chat for helping me understand that you wanted to talk right now, and not just like asynchronously via Discord. I did not understand what they were trying to say.
It's all good. I mean, Twitch has Twitch chat, but I think they did a good job. I was talking about it earlier, how, you know, we have this interview, and I was a little surprised to see that there were not that many of the main, well, only one main Last Epoch creator in the list there. So I was like, you know what? I know some of you guys that are streaming. I don't know all of you guys' names, but I know some of you, like you, Dreadful, Aaron, Lizard. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if you guys are interested in having like a 10, 15 minute talk about the teaser, and, you know, the things that we can't talk about. Obviously, we can't spill the beans on the teaser from the CT, but, you know, a little conversation. And then obviously, if there's anything specific that you guys want me to ask in the interview, then I'll do that. Do keep in mind, though, that my intentions with the interview on the Friday is going to be focusing more on the mechanical depth, the balance and balance changes, like the Sentinel rework and stuff like that. So I don't want to talk more that much about the generic changes that kind of covered by Sis and Rax. I want to be more specific in balance stuff, so we can separate these interviews to actually be more fruitful for the entire community.
Instead of just like the same
intention.
information over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, so like it's a press tour though, right? Like they want to be interviewing people who like have like a wider audience, or people who are like not always playing Last Epoch. Like if they interview me, or like, you know, if I get the like interview them, it'd be fun. But like my audience is Last Epoch audience, and like your audience is much broader because, like, you know, your main game. I think your main game is still PoE and PoE 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so you're a CT, I believe. I'm a CT. So like you
Yes.
and I both need to sit here with, like, you know, stupid smiles on our face whenever Twitch chat asks questions, which
Yes,
which
sir.
is wonderful. I do really like it, but man, it's frustrating, isn't it?
It is very frustrating. Oh man, I made a statement. I had no idea. There was like this journalist game news site. Somebody linked to me. They were like, "Oh, gas is hype for Last Epoch. Is it warranted or something?" I was like, "What the fuck? This got to be fake." And then I checked it, and apparently it was referencing a Last Epoch Reddit post that was a clip of me, and it just blew up. And I'm like, "Yo, what the hell is happening?" But I made a video talking about the teaser stuff, and apparently I said one sentence too much, borderline breaking the NDA. Luckily, Mike had already spilled the beans, so I was off the hook. But holy fuck, man, we gotta be careful. Whew.
It's fun.
But you played
go ahead.
You played a lot of the CT, I guess.
I played a little bit of CT. I've been dipping in and out. I know what's going on. I've got stuff that I can't quite talk about yet.
Yeah, we got to be careful. I told Chat about that. Every time we say something, we're like, we have to stop and then wait 10 minutes to verify in our head that, yes, I can say that. And then we say it.
Right. It's like the conversation kind of moves slow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, something I kind of failed on when I talked about Lizard and Dreadful is making sure that you guys get to introduce yourself to everyone. So could you like tell the world? I'll probably post this on YouTube as well. So just explain who you are, what you do, and sell yourself, basically.
You just gave a shout out to me in Twitch chat as well. So I'm Perry. Been playing. I played Path of Exile for a long time. Played it for like 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Like 15,000.
That's almost Kickstarter.
Not quite, but like, you know, like 15,000 ish hours in the game, like, you know, game plus POB plus PoE2 and all that nonsense. So played a lot of that, and then jumped over to Last Epoch instead, and probably, I guess, basically just played that game for as long as I could. Like, there's been a couple like on and off periods when like we're waiting for patches and whatnot, but basically just Last Epoch's the main game at this point. Sir, what do I do? Done a lot of build guides. We do build contests as well, encouraging people to like make new or like try using uniques like a new weird way. When races were a thing way back when, I did a lot of races as well, so that was fun. Got to be like rank 1 of the hardcore ladder a couple times, which was fun.
Were you active in those community races? I remember one of the races, like first 85 so and whatnot.
Fun, dude. Yeah. The races aren't really supported right now, but like they keep telling God, what's his name, Vision GL is the guy who used to do all the management for those races, and they keep telling Vision GL like, hey, like, we're gonna do those races again, like, we're gonna have more support someday, and hopefully they do, because like all the new people who have missed out on those community races, like, they were so much fun, like wild amounts of fun, but they're just not here anymore, so gotta do something else instead.
Yeah, I remember way back, like when they were still running the standalone client, they had this race to level 85. And I was like hell-bent and stubborn as fuck. I was like, I'm gonna do this as a minion build. So I played the Wraith build that if you summon too many Wraiths, you would crash your client. And the goal was basically get an arena key and then sit in the arena until you hit level 85. And the guys above me died, so I finally got rank 3. Like I got a trophy spot. Okay, that was the last time I properly raced in this game. That's a long time ago now.
So yeah, I don't know. I just I host a podcast for the game as well. It used to be called Epic Epoch. Now it's Rat City Radio. So Dread and I both publish that content out there. Yeah. You
also mentioned you got a kid coming.
I do. Yeah. So I have a kid right now. She's 3. She's hilarious, wonderful. And then right after patch 2 drops, like a week later, the second kid's gonna be born. So I might miss a couple days of stream.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I know that feeling.
I was gonna
I have a daughter's turning 2 soon as well, so I know.
Congratulations! Oh my God, 2 years old. 2 years. I gotta tell you, man. One dad to another dad. 2.5 was the best. 2.5 was like fucking awesome. Loved
when they're finally able to like start talking more properly.
Oh my God, yes. 3 years old. So they call it being a 3-nager, and apparently they have like more hormones in them than a teenager does. But like, you know, they're a third the size of a teenager. So maybe 3 is frustrating, but 2.5 was fucking fun.
I'm experiencing this process about 6-7 months ago. She started kindergarten, so I've been constantly sick ever since, and it's been a hell. But other than that, it's good.
We can talk about Last Epoch, or we can talk about being dads. I like that too.
Let's move on to Last Epoch. Let's do that.
Okay,
so I guess the first question would be, what do you think? Like again, without breaking NDAs on the CT, what's your take on the teaser? Like, what level of excitement are we at?
I'm huge copium on the Sentinel rework. I suspect that it's going to be successful. Boy, I hope so, because like I'm not like a Sentinel main, but I really do enjoy Sentinel. The teaser video itself, like the beginning of the teaser was like 30-second cinematic. The end of the teaser was a 30-second cinematic. Everything in the middle, I legitimately had to pause the video every 1 to 2 seconds and talk for like 10 minutes about what was on the screen. It was an absolute info dump worth of information. Like, holy shit. Like, they've had some like mediocre teasers in the past. Like they do some okay teasers. This was an incredible teaser that they did. Like, I am super hyped. Like, I don't know what the champion affixes are going to be. I don't know what the affix shard's going to look like. I don't know like what's getting buffed and nerfed. I don't know what the Sentinel rework's going to be. I don't know if Heartseeker like converted to a throwing skill. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces here. And people are already asking me like, oh, what's the started build? What's the started build? Like, dude, this is going to be an absolutely monumental patch. And if it's anything less than a monumental patch, like Last Epoch's going to have a hard time, right? Because it's been, you know, it's been a long time waiting for content. So like, it looks like it's going to be a huge patch, and it really needs to be a huge patch.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, saying like how important. Like they chose to delay it, which I think was a smart decision, ending up with this. And now they're really like, if this fails, they're going to have a hard time climbing up from that hole to get the game on the map again. And based on everything we've seen, it looks like they're going to hit the spot. Like they're going to get that point where the game gets back on track on the map again. The problem of replayability and enjoyment of the actual end game where the game starts is instead of coming to the end game and being a boring, monotone, repetitive experience, it's going to be an interesting, engaging experience, similar to like how PoE, Chris Wilson said, once a player gets to maps, they basically own their soul. And I think that these changes is going to put Last Epoch in that category where as soon as a player gets to the monolith, they're like, yo, look at this, the progression, the corruption scaling, quest chain to get to Avarat, the Weaver's tree to scale up the actual generic feeling of mapping, the sheer amount of actual content you gave. I think that all of these things are going to set that tone very, very effectively.
All right, so are you going to delete Arena from appearing on your monolith web? Or are you going to do the super mega arena?
No, I'm not really ever been a big fan of the arena, ever. I think that the arena is one of the most dull content to do. So it's probably going to be one of those things that's like, I don't want to do.
If like having those two options, like removing one of the worst parts of the game or like juicing it up, the juice had better be completely insane or else no one's ever going to click on it, right?
Yes, but you know, there are some people that like it. Obviously, you have the leaderboards there as well. So something I really do like is that they're something that both PoE and Diablo 4 can take some goddamn notes on. It is player agency. So you see the change they did with moving crafting shards, materials directly into just being soaked up rather than being itemized, right? Instead of just saying it's all going to be automated, they're giving us the option. Now, I don't know why the fuck anyone would not automate that, but you know, there are some crazy people out there.
There's one person in my Twitch chat who enjoys clicking the transfer button. And that's like the target audience. That one guy is the target audience.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost that much to give the player the option to do that. So I just don't see like D4 still don't have a map overlay. Like just give the players the option. That's all we want. So the people that want it can play with it, and people who don't want can play without it. It's just that simple. And I like how Last Deeper is handling that player agency of giving us the control of how we want to engage with it. So that's a good change in my opinion. Just, like even how stupid it sounds, like clicking that button. I'm sorry, whoever that guy is, but it's like it sounds stupid to me. But in the end, them giving us the option is massive, in my opinion. It just shows how well they do care about the community and our desires as well.
Okay, so what questions have you gathered so far about like things you want to ask? You said you wanted like more technical, like more mechanical questions, right?
Yes. Now, I haven't added any of my personal questions. I'll be doing some research myself, making sure that I get a good set of questions for this. What I wanted to do is I will do my best. I don't want to say I promise or guarantee that the question from Content could get in case something happens, but I'm going to make sure that 99% I'll get it in. So the Lizard IRL said that he wanted to ask about devs not being comfortable sharing like DPS thresholds, so what they desire players to be at in certain increments in the end game, to be more transparent of what they kind of expect for players to be at in certain corruption levels. And Dreadful was about minions. Thank you, because then I can say that this is his question, not mine. He wanted to talk about their plans to improve minion builds clear speed efficiency, and mostly referring to melee minions, since range minions still have the possibility to create what I refer to as decent AoE coverage, which minions in melee form severely lack. Their AoE is really bad. They have to walk up to the targets and all that. That is within the realm of melee, right? So you wanted to talk about that because of the comparison between the idea of farming favor item experience is gated behind monolith clear speed, and that being such a high pressure in the current state of the game that playing a minion build feels like you're basically putting yourself in a wheelchair compared to basically any other build, right? So that's the kind of question he has. And now we're at you.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna have really a hard time getting an answer from the devs talking about like what the DPS threshold is gonna be, because like what are they gonna say?
Yeah.
Like, you know, 1 million DPS is what we expect you to have. Like they're never gonna give a straight answer like that. But
I think that the better way to steer that question is, I was talking about this earlier as well. I think that a good way to steer it is ask the question that's listed one of that question as. I'll try to make sure I do that. And then I guess the better question to turn that into is more about where they expect players to be at. Because like I think they talked about that for the last season, the first season launch, where they wanted end game high performing builds to be at 300 plus corruption. Now, obviously, this turned into several thousand corruption, but that's a different topic, which I obviously want to cover.
Because like corruption like scales slower in difficulty than it has before.
Exactly. So like, I think that's more like the state that we want to have the answer be around where they want like end game high performing builds should be within the realm of this type of corruption. Now, if it goes higher, great, but that's kind of where they want it to be. So I think that's kind of like the target of that kind of question that I'm aiming for personally, at least.
Yeah, I'd be expecting that they want you to like be able to complete the Aberoth timeline or like the Aberoth quest line, because you know they just nerfed it. It should be an easier encounter, and like the Uber Aberoth should be aspirational. Not everyone's gonna be able to accomplish it, right? So like normal Aberoth is 300, which I think is where that number comes from. And like just because people are able to push to 1,000, like that question gets a lot of like gets memed on from people in the community. Like, oh man, they expect it to be 300 and we're 3,000, right? So yeah, I don't know.
For sure.
What a good question to be. So the very first Twitch chat question was talking about health and ward balance. And like people who've been around for a long time have seen the pendulum swing both ways. But like just the mechanical fact that, you know, ward is uncapped, and as you generate more of it, you can like keep more of it as well. And all the support that it has, different affixes in different classes. And like health just like doesn't really have that much support. Endurance is interesting, but like give me more, you know, give me like literally more health modifiers or something like that. So hearing just a refreshed response from them on the balance between the two and like what they expect, like, you know, a health versus ward build to be.
So something like balanced approach to compare HP versus ward, essentially.
And like it's a question that they've been asked many times. Like, you know, tell us how you're currently feeling about it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good one. It's also something that I tend to bring up, so I think that's a good segue. I can use your question in there to segue into something like that. I think that's a good one. I mean, it's like you said, it's the pendulum swung both ways, right? And obviously, a perfect world would be both to be competitive for the end game play. But, you know, the sheer quantity of ward that you can stack and sustain is, you know, the current state at least is just kind of obnoxious compared to the available tools that is available for HP play. Now, we do have the new gloves, which I believe is going to drop from, was it Uber Aberoth, or if it was from one of the other Weaver bosses.
Yeah, it should be Uber Aberoth.
Yeah, because that one looked cracked. I could just think of Death Seal Liches with it or something. It's like looked fucking crazy.
You mentioned Lizard, and I am surprised that he didn't ask this question because we have a Sentinel update coming up as well, and they specifically mentioned multi-strike as something that they're going to be changing, where like it's going to shotgun and single target, which sounds good. And one of Lizard's complaints from 16 years ago was, why do melee skills have one flat damage, like inherently to them, and like all of your flat damage comes from the weapon itself, whereas like a spell, your spells have flat damage, and then your weapon also has flat damage on top of that. So like weapons can craft flat damage, but spells can't craft flat damage on a prefix of a weapon. So like it's not apples and oranges that you're comparing. But I guess the question would be this: like, we have a Sentinel rework. Is melee changing? How do you feel about melee? You know, there's a lot of like damage over time circles on the ground, and damage over time is hard to mitigate. and a melee character needs to try to avoid those circles on the ground when you're fighting one of these bosses. Like, how would they feel about like melee in general, and like, are any of those considerations going into the Sentinel rework?
So, how would you want that to be worded? Say in a one-liner question.
Sure. How do you word that?
Because I can very easily do that question instead, because the balance approach of comparing HP and ward, I intend to ask that already.
Yeah.
So I can just take that as my own, and then we can have another one of your questions instead to get more of it out, if you'd prefer that.
Twitch chat, help me. How do you phrase the melee question? Melee's in a hard spot because it needs to avoid ground effects, and like range builds don't need to avoid those ground effects. Sentinel has a lot of melee options. How is like is melee getting any new tools for like navigating boss fights, or how about just like navigating boss fights? You could ask about the flat damage as well, but at some point you got to narrow the question down.
Yeah.
Like, is melee getting any new tools? How about that? Like, Sentinel's melee, what you got?
So basically, something in the lines of pretexting a question saying, well, ranged and/or minions or proxy damage totems have the opportunity to place their damage sources out and then spend their time dodging enemy attacks, especially when it comes to fights like the Uber Aberrath, which is going to be much harder, right? So I guess with that in mind, is melee going to be getting some tools to help them be able to either straight up just face tank these type of effects, or giving them the possibility to have damage output either be higher, or as a compensation of them losing to no damage when they start dodging things? Something along those lines?
Something along those lines. Because like Sentinel does have a lot of melee stuff. They already talked about multi-strike. Like, okay, so is this going to be like the same pain as we've had in the past? We get new tools, like options for building something, new gear, new efficacy. Did the Sentinel rework change how you approach melee in general? That's a good way of phrasing it. I like that.
Say that again?
Someone in Twitch chat said, did the Sentinel rework change how you approach melee in general? That's not bad.
Approach of melee in general. And then I'll add some notes so I can pretext it. Melee in our sport due to ground versus range versus due to ground spot effect. Is melee getting new tools navigating boss fights with the introduction of Uber Aberrath? There you go. Brilliant. All right, that's the question. Let's talk about the teaser for a little bit. So something I talked about to both Dreadful and Lizard about, I'm talking about on stream, is a lot about corruption and kind of the expected, like we mentioned that earlier, where the idea that they had was they wanted the end game good builds to be kind of farming around 300 corruption, and that obviously got blown out of the fucking waters immediately by thousands of corruption as a result, and they made some changes to this. It seems like both me, Dreadful, and Lizard are kind of in the idea that maybe they should have like a hard cap of how far corruption actually does scale the rewards you're getting, and let it be infinity scaling, but at some point, like, you're not getting any more benefits for high corruption other than like a corruption leaderboard, so boasting rights or something. That's something we seem to be on the same page on. Are you on that page, or are you on the other side of the book at this point?
Yeah, so I think we already need to go back to something you mentioned previously, which is the favor farming. And like corruption is favor farming, so like those two are the same conversation. So
yeah.
your Twitch probably knows this already because they're all brilliant people. But just to give some context, the corruption in the past used to scale difficulty much harder. Where like if somebody was comfortably farming 500 corruption, you'd say, wow, that's a huge build, like that's a really impressive thing to do. And you'd have modifiers for like enemies deal % increase elemental damage that were like 200. Like they were absolutely massive. Which is to say the difficulty of corruption in the past came from the modifiers that you were clicking on. So you could, dodge, dip, duck, dive around and avoid those modifiers, but that's not how it works anymore. So these days, the corruption difficulty is like a very slow slope, and it's like a very gradual rise in difficulty. So like, monster difficulty comes basically all from corruption and very little from the individual modifiers, which kind of flip-flops how it used to be. Which is to say, if you can do 400 corruption, 800 corruption is literally twice as difficult as 400 corruption. So monsters are going to take twice as long to kill. If you can do 400 corruption and kill a monster in 1 second, you can kill a monster in 2 seconds at 800 corruption. Like, it's a very slow difficulty curve. Which is why you see people, like, you know, farming 1,000 corruption. It's like, it's cool to farm 1,000 corruption, but it's not nearly... It's a completely different system that it used to be, like, before 1.0.
They also slowed down the reward progression so that it has diminishing returns. The higher the corruption you get, the difference of favorite farming items in gold and the LP chance still goes up, but it's very small incremental steps compared to how it was before as well.
So the favor
basically drastically lower the efficiency of someone who's farming 1,500 corruption versus 1,000 corruption. It's not that big of a difference. If you're clearing the 1,000 corruption faster, it might even be better in terms of
so that's been
general wealth.
And for the tryhard people who want to farm for the next 1,000 hours on one single patch, it seems like people are pretty comfortable saying that you just want to be at 1,000 corruption clearing quickly, and beyond that, like don't even worry about it. Just chill at 1,000 corruption for the purpose of favor gain. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but like, should EHD worry about how to communicate that to the player base? Should they tell a new player those kinds of things? And the answer is probably no. But like, even for the most casual player, like if you're playing your character into endgame, like if you're dinging like level 100, for example, you know, casual level 100, whatever. But for someone who dings level 100, like, you want to engage with the market if you're Merchant's Guild, you want to do prophecies if you're COF, and you very quickly realize what you and I already know, which is the only thing that matters is favor gain. And that favor gain comes from speed clearing at about 1,000 corruption. So is that the right number? Should that number be easier to get to? Like, corruption pushing is way easier now than it's ever been in the past. And like, I don't know, it's probably fine, isn't it?
I don't mind it that much. I just feel like the general population's expectancy of what to play is directly impacted by, well, it's our fault, content creators, right? So
I mean, there's also been like a number of patches that have been dominated with like completely insane builds that are like either extreme outliers or, you know, very much so bugged in some way. So like, you know, every new patch is just like, you know, the YouTube thumbnail of like, this build's completely insane, and it is, because it's either Falconer or it's bugged, or it's Falconer and bugged. You know what I mean? And like as soon as you take out the completely insane builds like that, Last Epoch has like tons and tons of build diversity. It's just, it's just
now
that
with the set items is going to be even better.
Yeah, but like it's just that like the outliers they're not outliers by a factor of 2. They're outliers by a factor of like 100. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So people look at that and they're like, why would I play anything else? And it's like, well, not every build is supposed to be like that.
But that's like the sad part, because like I spoke with that about Dread as well. It's really sad when you're like Dread makes a lot of builds, right? And I like playing with some fun builds. So the last minion build I played, for example, was an auto bomber. I had so much fun playing it. And as soon as I started comparing it to like the outliers, I was this build sucks.
It's garbage. It's fucking terrible, dude. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, but I mean, I got it to fucking Aberrath.
But it was fun, you know, and you enjoyed it. So,
yeah.
So that's more of a reputational thing that Last Epoch and EHD are just gonna have to like shake over time. They need to deliver, you know, 3 or 4 patches in a row where that nonsense doesn't happen, and then people will like, you know, get over it. So I don't know. That's on them.
That's fair. How about this question for you then? So again, trying to avoid the NDA CT stuff, but basically the things that has been revealed and is public, the teaser. If you had to pick one thing that you're most excited about for the new seasonal launch, what would that be?
What's the new thing? Set items not being garbage. We've spent so much time making fun of set items. Like, what if they weren't trash? What if I did put them on my loot filter? You know, like that's that's a completely different video game. So that'd be
now
pretty
happy
cool.
to drop the entire set as well.
Yeah, right. Holy shit. The new crafting materials allowing you to like manipulate the exalted affixes sound extremely exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was giving examples of like, you know, what this might look like in the future. Like during Merchant's Guild in season 1. I guess like 1.1, like the Frostclaw stuff with Sork, that was it was super expensive to find a relic that had +4 Frostclaw on it because people wanted to slam it on their LPs, right? And like these days, I guess like next patch, all you need to do is find a relic with a singular tier 1 or tier 7 modifier on it, and then you just craft tier 1 Frostclaw, and then you just like flip it until it hits.
Yep.
So like all of our knowledge about like what to price things at for you poor people who play Merchants Guild, like what on earth are you gonna price things at? I don't know.
Oh man.
Everything.
At least those items should be
gold.
cheaper. Yeah, or
I
that.
don't know.
It's one or the other, right? But I mean, you're a COF fan, right?
I love COF. People were talking like, oh man, COF's getting nerfed because now you need to pick up every fucking item and keep it in your stash. And it's like, you know what? We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's something Dredd was talking about, and like he's more of an MG guy, but you know that already.
Yeah, he's kind of a doomer too. Just like, you know what? We haven't played with it yet. We don't know what the relative rarity of these like relics, or sorry, the runes and glyphs is gonna be. Like,
they said that we're going to be a little rarer than Ascendance runes, right? But then again, if you're playing COF, I'm expecting there to be some prophecies around them as well, so I don't mind.
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, yeah, but I mean, I see the stash issue. That's obviously a problem. Something I talked a little bit about as well is like my main two concerns for last epoch was first off was the fact that when a player finally got to end game, that was just a monotone, boring, very long slog, and that lost interest. A lot of people lost interest at that point and stopped. And I think that the new seasonal change is going to fix that problem. So that is my second most exciting thing for the season launch. But I'm with you on the fact that I actually do think that the set part that they're doing is so cool. But COF and MD is like, sure, you get that stash issue and whatnot. But the second concern I have is actually related to that with the stashes. And that is the loading when you're clicking on a stash. And my understanding is that it still hasn't been fixed. And I really hope they fix it, because otherwise that issue is going to shadow a lot of the good things.
Like the little like lag hiccup that you get when you open your stash. You have all your stash tabs.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Stand down.
I really hope they're going to address that, because I think that stuff like that is going to make the game feel, at least for the new players that's coming in to try the game out, if that's still in there, I fear that they might feel like, oh my god, performance is really bad in the game, and that's going to put all these amazing things they're doing, it's going to be a little bit in the shadow as a result of something stupid as that, in my opinion. So I really hope that.
So you were asking me like, what am I looking forward to in the upcoming patch?
Yes.
And I said the set crafting, and like as people like trickle into Twitch chat and they're like, hey, like, what's coming new in the patch? And I realized that there's really two things that I highlight when someone asks me that question. And that is like, first of all, the set crafting, which is, you know, cool and exciting, and we need more information on it. And the idols. Like, power creep is, you know, I'm worried about power creep. But on the other hand, living in the moment, that sounds completely insane. We're going to have idols that have 4 affixes instead of 2. And it's a completely new pool of affixes that we haven't seen yet. Like, that's... So, the potential for power creep is absolutely insane, and I want to see it. I want my damage numbers to go big. I want my HP to go big. I don't know. I can't wait for it.
No, I'm with you.
Very high potential.
I mean, as a fellow COF enjoyer, we've always had this idea, like some of the builds, like, yeah, you're gonna want to have double life idols, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let me
Double
just farm for the next 2 months before I find them. Yeah, they're boring,
so
but it's like takes such a long time to find the idols as well. I'm like, if you play Merchant Guild, it's like, yeah, give me half an hour, and then I'll just buy all of them. Yeah. And now when they were like crafting the idols, I'm like, yo, this is again just emphasizing my excitement for playing COF. So like, I'm very excited for it. But I mean, Merchant Guild does have its perks of like, you can just play more builds, right?
You could potentially take that and form it into a question for the interview if you wanted to. Because like the double HP idols, they kind of describe a problem that's existed for a long time. Like, like, first of all, like, you know, defense more important than offense because you can't deal damage if you're dead. You can say that, but just like some skills just don't have anything that they could use for idols. Like, we need more idol support, or like we need more options. Like, are we gonna get more idols? Are we gonna get like, I don't know. Like maybe the new idol crafting is exactly the answer to this question. And then the other side of it is like the double HP idols are really fucking strong. And like the idols that currently exist in the game, like sure, you can get an idol that says like, you know, you gain plus 100% increased damage. And 100% increased damage is a lot. Or you could have like plus 2,000 life by just equipping these idols. And like double HP idols have kind of been a stain for a long time. Where like you need to kind of forget that they exist in order to, explore other options.
Oh yeah, but that also comes down to the process of lacking support to the HP versus ward stuff, because most of the time canning go HP with other things. That's mostly going with builds that are no longer giving a shit about life because you're going ward, unless depending on the build, you go low life, you still want to have life. So I mean, it's the limitations are kind of annoying, and that is also to some degree a directly correlated to the process of HP and ward lacking toolkits for the ward HP process, right? Of using that as your main tier of defense, right?
So I guess if you wanted to form that into a question, you'd ask do you take into consideration how people build their characters when you are buffing and nerfing and introducing new affixes into the game? You'd have to workshop that question. It's not a good question yet.
Yeah, of course.
But like,
no, I see what you're saying. No, for sure.
But like, it's this problem where like these double HP idols exist. You have this brand new exciting system for affixes. Are people still just going to use double HP affixes or double HP idols? I hope not. That'd be terrible if that were true. If they introduce something brand new and then everyone's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna use HP idols instead. That'd be not
true.
good.
But I mean, that also comes in hand with how the balance patch, the actual patch itself, describing like what are they going to do to HP versus ward, right? Because if they balance the HP ward situation to a better state than it is, I'm not saying we're looking for perfection here, but if they get it better, then we might already be less incentivized to run double HP idols. And that will further incentivize us to do these things, unless we just gonna end up in a position where whatever Weaver's Touch idols we're gonna craft is gonna be like, well, you're gonna have to have these 2 life mods, and then you can have fun with the other 2 mods.
Yeah, right.
On them.
Like, what if in the new pool of modifiers there's life?
Yeah.
Right. Like that's almost a bad thing, isn't it? It's like, okay,
yes, I agree with that.
And you can only craft them with Weaver's Will, so like you need to like unveil, or not, unveil, but whatever it's called. And then like
exactly.
you just keep going until you get like life, armor, damage affix. Like I don't want that. I don't want to sit there and re-roll until I hit like life, armor, damage. I want cool and exciting, flashy modifiers. But
yeah, I mean, I think the idol system definitely needs some work, but I mean, obviously they have done work on it, so it's gonna be fun to see. But it does generally come down to the balance situation of life versus ward, which is one of the reasons why I want to bring up that topic in the interview on Friday, because I think that if they create a situation where you can choose either or, and you're not pushed into double HP idols and all those things, I would rather see them remove all types of defensive layers of idols and just have them be interesting mechanical changes, like the Wraith one, making Flame Wraith instead, as an example of an interesting modifier or damage modifier. So I think that would be more exciting, but in the end it all comes down to the idea that you need to have, due to the aspirational endgame content the way it is, obviously you have the outlier builds like a Glass Cannon Falconeer that you just bum rush everything. You see them on the YouTube videos. Dread was talking about that. They're not going to show you their monolith tree where the 60,000 different monoliths they've died in, but they're going to show you the one they didn't die in, right? Because they're going full Glass Cannon. But most builds aren't like that, right? You have these outliers like the 40,000 ward builds, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, obviously that's the main priority. That's how you stay alive, even in thousands of corruptions, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna tackle that aspect of the game in general and see where we land.
I think we just remove all defenses,
Remove all defenses.
Remove all defenses.
I mean,
the only build decisions you get to make are like how much damage you deal,
or die.
what flavor damage you have. Just like, who needs it?
Well, it's going to be fun to see how the patch is going to balance the whole idea.
I can't wait.
The defensive layers. It's going to be very interesting. But then again, I mean, we talked about like the endgame replayability. You play the CT, and I mean, what we can say is that there's a load of content to engage with in every monolith. It's like, there's so much compared to what it is in the live game right now. It's going to be very interesting and fun to see people's reaction to it.
All right, so you're still the minion guy. Are you doing like Sentinel minions?
So the fun fact here is that I've actually mainly focused on Sentinel and some Warlock stuff with damage over time. Obviously, we can't say in public much more than that, but that's been my 2 main things I've been doing on the CT. And after tonight's stream is the first time in the CT that I'm actually going to finally touch minions. So, but yeah, I guess people still call me the minion guy, but I haven't even touched them in the CT yet because I've been so excited about the Sentinel.
Okay, so lock it in. Manifest Armor is going to be OP, and you're going to start playing it when the patch drops.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay, got it. I understand. Good.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. The balance patches and the patch notes will obviously dictate quite a lot. Now with the set item information, I mean, I like the cold red shade approach with the Lich's Scorn, but we don't know what kind of modifiers these set shards are going to give us. We know they're going to give us the set item bonus.
Like the set shards and like the champion affixes, we just have like no idea. There's so much we just like, we have no idea. One of the champion affixes is like a smite idol, which is like a hugely impactful modifier. You know, chance to cast smite on hit with throwing skills.
Yeah.
And like that is build defining right there, and that's just like an affix that you can get. Like holy shit. It's like,
so that's like, yeah,
could be,
obviously.
The champion affixes could be anything. We don't really know.
Exactly. I mean, that's again one of those things. Like we've seen some stuff in the CT, but I just want to point out for anyone listening to this on YouTube or Twitch, doesn't matter right now. I'm like, we that play the CT, we have far from all the information. There's so much we have seen nothing of, and we don't even get access to it.
I heard,
like, there's a lot of things that we don't know.
I heard this new minion amulet. Have you heard about that one? Does like when you use Bone Curse, it applies like acid skin or something?
I'm not sure how much we're allowed to say.
Well, no, it's been in the teaser.
It was in the teaser.
It was in the teaser. We can talk about it.
I'm being really careful.
Oh shit! No, I made a video about it as well. I'm giving myself a shout out here because I helped create that item.
Okay, I'm just getting a little concerned here because I'm being really careful.
Oh,
you know, I
no.
made a video talking about the sets, like, and I made one sentence too much on the video on that, and people were like, "Oh, guys, you broke NDA." And I'm like, then I looked at the teaser, like, if I had not played the CT, that is exactly how I would have interpreted the crafting of it. So I was like,
true.
And Mike spilled the beans like a day before, so I was off the hook. But I was like, yo, that was scary as fuck. So now I'm like, I ain't saying shit.
I've had EHG people like hanging out in my Twitch chat, you know, around this time, like right before a patch drops or something, and like they DM'd me afterward, and they're like, I can see the smile on your face, and I can see that you're just like, you're really fucking struggling, not saying anything. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I am struggling. Like, it's fun, but it's really hard. And like the person replied to me, they're like, yeah, I mean, I have fun with that too. Just like everything,
for sure.
It's like a month of just having a shit-eating grin on your face. Just like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
It's fun though. But like even like the idol crafting, champion effort, there's a lot we haven't gotten access to in the CTA. There's a lot we don't know, and that's going to obviously, hopefully, like you mentioned, like if we get something like that from a champion affix, like the smite on hit with rings or throw attacks, like that's gonna be build defining. That's gonna enable that entire archetype to get easily started. And like there's just so much that we can do with it. And that's something ESG has done very well with Last Epoch. It is, if we take away the idea of looking at outliers, you mentioned this earlier as well, like the level of build diversity is so vast in this game, and people are like missing out on it because everybody just, well, not everybody, but a vast majority of players just want to go for the flavor of the month and look at the outliers. That's what you're going to play, or you're going to be bad about it, right? So I hope that some of the balance changes.
There are so many like A and B tier builds. There's a ton of them. And then there's like one S that makes you blind everything else.
Would you agree that like my statement has always been that a build that does well is a build that can get to the point of clearing the progressional state to get to Abrath. In Uberath, Abrath. I'm just talking about getting to 300 corruption. If your build is able to farm at 300 up to 400 corruption, that in my opinion is a good build. Whether or not that build can do 1,000 corruption, I don't really care too much about, because that allows the player to clear everything the game has to offer. Are you in the same page of the book here, or do you feel something differently about it?
300 so low, like
it is low.
Yeah, it's hard to set the barrier that low. I'd say like, so like good doesn't mean perfect. Like you could say like a good, a great, a crazy, and then like an OP, like whatever your words want to be. But like comfortably farming. When I say comfortably farming, I mean like, you're not really reading modifiers. You're just like, you know, Al can go. You know what I mean? So like, if you can Al can go at like 1,000 corruption, like that's a great build. You know, no notes, perfect.
Oh yeah. I definitely agree that would be like a great build. It's just like the build diversity opens up so much. If you're considering the build to be good at a lower corruption stage, because like anything above 300 corruption in the current state of the game is just increasing rewards, right? So
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to get a better build to be able to handle that. But at 300 corruption, you have now access to everything the game has to offer, including the Aberrath fight.
I would-
And if
I
the
would-
build's
I would
able to
put
do
it-
those things.
I
that's
would put it
right?
like 500 or 600, but like realistically,
Hmm.
500, 600 are like very similar to 300. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a fair take. I mean, that's just a different personal preferences and how we look at things, right? But it's like you said. I mean, there's so many builds that you can handle 500, 600 up to 1,000 corruption, even when they're not the outliers that are doing thousands upon thousands, right? So there's definitely a lot of build diversity, and I think that the changes that they're introducing is obviously going to further emphasize the quantity or the sheer quantity of available build diversity builds that people.
Now that we're like revisiting corruption and talking about this, like I would like to have a question somewhere in there about favor farming. Like, how do you feel about favor farming right now? Like, I would like a cap on favor farming. You know, like you can get to 1,000, and then like it no longer scales past that point.
Yeah, well, that comes down to the whole corruption question. I will be bringing that up myself, so it will be baked in. I'm going to talk about corruption scaling in general, and favor is going to be part of that, since that is the main part of it, and the second part is obviously items and LP chance, and then you have gold as well as general character player experience, right? But favor farming is part of the corruption scaling, and I will definitely be bringing that up, as I want my interview to be focusing on balance changes and general balance changes, but not just that, but also the Sentinel rework and going more deep diving on the mechanical aspect of it. So that will definitely be part of it, for sure. All right. Is there anything else you want to bring up, or you feel like you got the most of the stuff out off your chest?
Will volatile reversal be a viable DPS skill?
Volatile reversal.
Can I play like crit volatile reversal?
It's a Bill. I'm gonna add that as a little backup question. We'll see if we get to that one.
Well, it's got damage nodes in it, doesn't it? It says like volatile
I'm pretty
reversal
sure it
deals more
does.
damage. And like, well, if it's got damage, then how come no build?
Yeah, that's a fair take.
Come on,
to be
Judd.
fair. We gotta put a fire under her ass. Let's get some answers.
Come on, dude.
All right. In that case, let's wrap it up by Perry. Just give a quick rundown what to expect in your channel. What's your plans from now till the launch, and what are you gonna do on the launch based on what we know so far, and where can we find you? YouTube, Twitch, and all that.
Sure. So socials first, twitch.tv/Perry the Pig. There's links all over the place to like different things, but YouTube's the same. Twitch, or I guess YouTube, Perry the Pig as well. So anywhere you look on socials, you should find that username. What are we doing until launch? Probably just like playing Last Epoch. So I've been wanted to like refamiliarize myself with like pushing through the Harbingers, because I forgot how fucking tanky they are. So I want to get better at that portion of the game, so it's not so frustrating. I actually have never played Balatro. So at some point here, I want to play like a little bit about Balatro as well, because like, it keeps coming up in conversation. Post launch, I'll probably be playing softcore, COF again, because I like COF so much.
Down or die.
Kid's gonna be born, so we'll take a couple days off for that. And then probably gonna be playing a Sentinel, and then at some point we're also gonna do our build contest that we've done in the past. So it might be the Pearls of the Swine amulets, because it's so cool. Might be a different unique item that we haven't seen yet, but we'll see. Some kind of build contest, because those have been fun in the past.
Yeah. Sounds great, dude. All right, well, Perry, I'll thank you for coming on the call, and wish you the best of luck with the kid, and it's always awesome. So best of luck with that, and I'll see you in the director in the coming weeks, I guess.
Dead. All right, I'll see you next time. Thanks, dude.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
That was cool. That was a fun conversation. Chat, what's going on? Welcome back, dude. Pew, 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 pew. No, I died! We made it all this far? I got comp blind, dude. Brutal. I made it so far. I was trying to click on everything that had the word arena on it, just so I could stand in one place and like not move. Do you know how they're changing it? No. No, we don't know how they're changing it at all. Yeah, I was trying to click on every arena, so I could just like stand in one place and kill monsters and be happy. But then I ran out of arena, so I had to start moving and walking. Yuck, walking. All my homies hate walking. It's fine. No. Phantom grip? Okay, so listen, one of the items that we found there was important. We found a Orion Sun Seal while we were chatting. Maybe we're interested in using sigils at some point. And that would certainly make our life a lot easier if we wanted to do that. Boop. Yeah, what's going on? Welcome. Secret interview? Yeah, I guess secret interview. I thought he wanted to, like, speak generally at some point in the future. Not, like, immediately on a Discord call. But, like, yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
Stand down or die.
Bloop. Alright, can I kill this boss now? Get this thing out of here. Get this thing out. This hybrid health. Doop, boop, boop. Yo, dude, experience. This node. Health, armor, strength, percent increased damage, sure. Alright, so I need this first, and then we fight the boss, and then we're good. Okay. Got it. Where's my crit volatile reversal, dude?
Pain, an eternity of pain, unchanging.
Good. A 2 LP. A 2 LP Abadie's mom? And I'm just gonna leave it on the ground? Oh, that's so brutal. Oh well. That is kind of brutal, dude. I should probably do this, I think. Just in case. Bonk. Bonk.
Lost refuge is gone, and iron ore that is left. Die with me, traveler. My magic has no equal. Perish.
Can I just stand here?
Why you run? It is hopeless.
Does one of his beams do more damage? That's not true, is it? I just like I must have not had leech stacked up.
Consumes all. Burn, wretches. My magic has no equal. Perish. Brightness. Is this nightmare? Unable.
Too little, too late. He was a fool. Dodge this! Dodge this! Arcane Oblivion!
Arcane
Keep
Oblivion.
running.
Do I have any Steel Mage enjoyers in chat?
Dodge this!
Ow. What the fuck? That's so much damage. Alright, again. 10,000 years of slumber? You know what you missed? Huh.
Lost
We just had an impromptu interview with Gazzy.
die with true. My magic has no equal. Perish.
Chatting about the interview that he's gonna have with Judd and whatnot on Friday.
Why you run? It is hopeless. Burn, wretches.
No.
The void consumes all. Burn, wretches. My magic has no equal. Perish. Is this nightmare? Are they over?
Do not fear the void. Embrace
That seems like it.
Coward!
So it didn't crit me, it just like dealt 3,200 damage.
Arcane
Maybe it's because I blocked it the first couple times.
Keep running.
I think what happened is like I got hit by like 2 things. No, but like 3,000 would have killed me anyways. So maybe it was like a lucky block a couple times in a row. So it seems like the orange thing I probably should dodge, huh?
Dodge this.
But she just fucking keeps using it.
Arcane oblivion. Coward. Coward. Keep running. Keep running.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dodge this.
I think the melee question
Coward.
is probably a good thing to ask.
Arcane oblivion.
Just like a lot of these bosses
Keep running.
are pretty frustrating for melee builds. Like there's so much stuff on the ground, the boss stands on them, there's damage over time, like, and range builds like don't need to worry about any of that. And like Sentinel has a lot of melee stuff. I wonder if they care.
Lost refuge is gone, and I am all that is left. Die with me, true. My magic has no equal. Perish.
I wish the Harbingers weren't 5 times as tanky as the boss.
Why
Maybe just like 3 times or something. Like they make me feel so bad about my build.
burn, wretches. The void consumes all. Burn, wretches. My magic is this nightmare?
Bow, 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 bow,
Too
bow,
little,
bow.
too late. He was a fool. Arcane oblivion. Coward. Yeah. Dodge this. Keep running.
Jesus Christ. That was strange. Boom, 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 boom.
Lost refuge is gone, and I am all that is left. Die with me, true.
Like my build's not bad.
My magic has no equal. Perish.
I'm even making use of bugs to make my build better. Like surely I should be rewarded for that, right?
Burn, wretches. The void consumes all. Burn, wretches. Is this nightmare?
I want my starter build to have like giga single target.
Embrace it.
I'm gonna play Serpent's Milk again, or Serpent's Strike.
Dodge this. Keep running. Keep running.
Is that a multi-hit build or multi-hit
Coward.
skill that just like hit me twice or something?
Arcane Oblivion! Arcane Oblivion! Dodge this!
Like she says, dodge this, and I like literally can't dodge it.
Coward! Keep running!
Feels Sentinel, man.
Arcane Oblivion!
Feels Sentinel, man. It's like not having access to like haste and movement speed. It's one of Sentinel's issues.
Coward!
I feel like if I ever don't block one of those, we're just dead, aren't we?
running. Keep running. Coward.
Like even that hit me. If you like make a clip
Arcane Oblivion.
right when I said that.
Keep running.
It's wild. Okay. We got it. We're good. The skinny ones are super fucking annoying.
Last refuge is gone, and I am all that is left. Die with me, Trevor. My magic has no equal. Perish.
Alright, so maybe I should have tried harder there. Alright, I think... Hold on, let me check real quick. Got it. Chat, I have a hard stop here, believe it or not. Am I trying to make your build look bad? Dude, I played this build before you were born. This build is great. I love this build. I'm trying to make it look bad. True. Alright, chat, we're going to go do something here. This something is called dinner with my wife. Very important. Yeah. Feels bad, man. Yeah, it feels bad. We're gonna go host someone. Who's online? Dread's online? Done. Alright. We'll host Dread, see what this lad's up to. I'm gonna go have a hot date. Chat, I'll see you next time, alright? Have a good night.